Our paper is 80 marks and it's 2 hours, and that is our paper 1. Let's go and see what the paper had for us this year in June. The instructions and information are very important. Please know your instructions, go through them, do not rush through them. Please make sure you understand what you're supposed to do. We have 3 sections in our paper. We have comprehension passage, we have a summary, and we have language. Our section A is 30 marks. Our section B is 10 marks. And our section C is 40 marks. Those are our language components. We must answer all questions. Please do not leave blanks because you never have time to go through them again. Try and answer your questions fully as you are starting the examination until you get to the end. Read all the instructions carefully. You have instructions inside your question paper. Please make sure you understand them. Start each section on a new page. We always encourage that when you finish your section A, you will go to a new page to start your section B, and you will go to a new page to start your section C. Leave a line after each answer so that your work can breathe and can be legible and clear. Number the answers correctly according to the numbering system used in this question paper. For multiple choice questions, write only the letter A, B, C, or D next to the question number in the answer book. Pay special attention to spelling and sentence construction. Use the following time frame as guideline. Section A, because you have a comprehension, you must be going through it in 50 minutes. Section B, it's 20 minutes, which is your summary. And section C is 50 minutes, which is your language structures. Those are our time managements for our 3 sections. Write neatly, clearly, so that we can see. Those are the instructions. Let's go to our question paper. Right. Our question paper starts with text A and text B in the first section. And your text A is always automatically the written phrase. And then your text B is your visual text. So those are the 2 texts that we have to go through when coming to our questions. Right, I'm just going to go touch on a few things in text A, and then I will go through text B with you. Our text A is always going to have an instruction verb. Please make sure you know your instruction verb and what you're supposed to do so that you can be able to get through your question. How does South Africa? You have to answer the question how. So that is your question word. Why is your verb. So please make sure you know your instructions when it comes to the questions. What are you exactly supposed to do? Your marker location always starts with the lower order questions infused with the middle order questions. Lower order questions are your 1 marks. Your middle order are your 2 marks. So that's how you always are going to have the question paper. And then you'll have your section B, text B, my apologies. Your text B is always having the 2 mark questions. So which means you must be able to now know the structure of your paper to say you must be able to get through the proper type of questions. Right. As I will just take a few sample questions that I will describe and explain how you're supposed to answer them. For example, they say quote 2 consecutive words. Right. When they say 2 consecutive words, these are words that follow each other, not random words. So let's go to paragraph 2. It says quote 2 consecutive words which show that there are too many inhabitants in some areas of South Africa. All right, let's go to paragraph 2 and see our 2 consecutive words. Okay. This is our paragraph 2. Paragraph 2 says currently, South Africa's 11 million cars fill up at 5,000 petrol stations. Cars are responsible for 10% of the country's carbon emissions and toxic pollutants released in densely populated cities. These emissions and pollutants contribute to air pollution and global warming. That's our question that we are going to be focusing on. So, our question asks that we quote. Please, when you are quoting, remember to put quotation marks because it's an instruction when they say quote. The question, it said quote two consecutive words which show that there are too many inhabitants in some areas of South Africa. Densely populated. That is our two consecutive words. So you are going to take densely populated and put them in quotation marks. That is the two consecutive words. We have had learners who struggle and say, I didn't know what consecutive means, and therefore I took just two random words. Consecutive, it means they follow each other. So our answer is densely populated. That's what we mean by that question. When you are coming also to answering questions, please try and use your own words as much as possible. If the instruction did not say quote, please make sure that you are able to understand the passage so that you can be able to answer correctly. Always underline your instruction. Why does South Africa need to speed up its move into electric vehicle industry? They say give 2 points. Your mark allocation is 2 marks. So please make sure we adhere to the mark allocation. 2 points equivalent to 2 marks. Why is the strategy referred to as the green transport? So you must give the reason. When we are talking about why, you are supposed to provide a reason why the strategies are referred to as that. All right. So when we are also coming to paragraph 6, using your own words, that's a clear instruction. Explain why the Uyelo e-mobility program was created, which means you're not supposed to take what is in the passage. You will have to find your own words. And then identify 2 advantages. That's your instruction. It's 2 advantages. And therefore, explain is your keyword. Do you agree with Andrew Keby's views? Yes, I agree. No, I do not agree. But you're supposed to substantiate your answer. Discuss the suitability of the title Gear Up for electric vehicles. I'm going to touch on this one. When they say discuss the suitability of the title, are you saying is it appropriate or is it inappropriate? When they say gear up for electric vehicles, so which means you're given the suitability of the title after you have read the passage, and therefore it is suitable because with the lot of disadvantages that are raised in the passage, there is a need to bring green transport strategies. So now, which means that when they say gear up, people are supposed to prepare themselves. And if they prepare themselves, it will be easier for them to accept when the time comes, because the need for the electric cars has gone high. So please make sure you discuss. When you are discussing, you are going to use what you understood from the passage. The risks that have been raised when using the current mode of transport, the risks that have been raised in terms of the planet, the risks that have been named in terms of the pollution. So as such, you must be able to find reasons why the electric cars will be more suitable. So please, I encourage you, know your keyword, know your marker location. Your marker location is going to guide you on how many answers you are supposed to give. It's a discussion and it is 2 marks, so they must be fully discussed. Do you agree and give a reason? It's 2 marks. So be very clear when you are doing that. Okay, I said I'm going to touch on text B because text A, we have to read it thoroughly and then we'll have to answer. But we are going to go to text B because it's a visual passage and we can't go through it together. Right, your text B said ways to reduce waste. 1 bamboo toothbrush is equal to 4 disposable plastic toothbrushes. 1 glass floss container is equivalent to 7 disposable plastic floss containers. 1 reusable water bottle is equivalent to 167 disposable water bottles. So now they are showing us ways to reduce waste. Let's use 1 bamboo toothbrush instead of buying disposable toothbrushes. Let's avoid disposable plastic floss and just buy 1 glass floss. Let's avoid disposable plastic water bottles and buy 1 reusable water bottle. Let's avoid disposable plastic bags and just buy 1 reusable bag. That is what is the interpretation of your text B. According to text B is your first question under that text. What type of toothbrush is recommended? Substantiate your answer. We are clear that when we are looking at the visual, the bamboo toothbrush is recommended because it is equivalent to 4 disposable plastic toothbrushes and will still be strong. So we are saying when they recommend the bamboo toothbrush, it's because it is reusable and therefore using 4 disposable plastic toothbrushes is causing waste. So when we are using only 1 bamboo toothbrush, we are reducing waste by using disposables. So you have to give substantiation to your answers when you are talking about why it's recommended. What message does text B convey? The message is that there are ways to reduce waste that people must explore. People must use glass, bamboo, reusable things so that we can avoid increasing waste. So we must be able now to come up with the message. The message is that there are ways to reduce waste from the daily things we use. These are things we use on a day-to-day basis, and therefore we can't be able to reduce waste from the things we use on a daily basis. That's our message. It is everyone's responsibility to reduce waste by using reusable items and not disposable items. In your own opinion, that is your own opinion. Do the visuals make the text easier to understand? Give a reason for your answer. Remember, we're talking about this text. When they are saying, does it make the text easier to understand? You are supposed to now give us knowledge of that you understand the text and that you know the reasons why we should be moving from things that are causing harm and we should be using things that are not polluting the earth. Air pollution was mentioned, global warming was mentioned, and therefore we must be able to account now to say, when we are talking about the use of things that are reusable, we are able to stop pollution, we are able to lessen the effects of global climate, and therefore the visual does make it easier to understand because it gave us the equivalent of things that we use. In a month, I'm sure we use more than 7 disposable plastic floss containers. We use more than 167 disposable plastic water bottles, and it's in a month, 30 days or 31 days. So this becomes a summary of the effects of using materials or things that pollute the environment and that cause the global warming effects to go higher. So it's your opinion. If you felt it does not, you could have simply said no, because in the first text, they talked about cars and changing from the normal mode to electric cars because of emissions, because of pollution. You could have also said no. Please be very sure that when we're coming to question 1.13, a yes answer is correct as long as you're able to substantiate yourself. A no answer is correct as you are also able to substantiate yourself. So, whichever answer you give, the most important thing is the substantiation. That is our section A. Take note of your keywords. I will go through it again. Take note of your keywords. Take note of your content. Know your requirements. What are they asking you? What are you supposed to give back is the answer. How many marks is the question that will guide you in the long way. Okay, we're going to section B, which is our summary. Our summary is always going to have a passage, a text, and therefore we're supposed to list 7 points on what we are given. Now, it says, question 2, food that is not consumed often ends up being wasted. Read text C below and list 7 points. There's our key on how to reduce food wastages. The requirements of your question will always be highlighted so that you are not going to focus on anything else. You are only going to focus on how to reduce food wastage. So please, anything that is not giving you a method of how to reduce food wastage must not be included in your answer. Right, those are our instructions. Remember when I began the session, I said, please take note of your instructions. Even inside the paper, follow the instructions that are at the beginning of each section. Instruction number 1 says, your summary must be written in point form. List your 7 points in full sentences using no more than 70 words. That's our word limit. Number your sentences 1 to 7. That's an instruction, which means we are writing proper sentences. There we have it. We are writing proper sentences from 1 to 7. Write only 1 point per sentence. Use your own words. It's even in bold as far as possible and in capital letters. Indicate the total number of words you have used in brackets at the end of your summary. Those are our 6 requirements. 7 points, 1 to 7, 70 words, own words, 1 point per sentence. Word limit is written at the end. Right, we are finding points on how to reduce food wastage. Food wastage, it said. Food waste is a serious problem and affects us all. It is estimated that 1/3 of all food is never eaten and ends up in rubbish dumps. One of the easiest ways to reduce food wastage is by planning your meals ahead of time. This is our first point. This one. We must plan our meals ahead on time. That's our relevance. It's answering the question, how to avoid food wastage. Before heading to the supermarket, check what is in the fridge and the grocery cupboard. After you have checked what you already have, make a list of what is needed for your planned meals. Sticking to this list is important as it will help you to avoid buying unnecessary items. So you are supposed to have a list. That's our second point. We are supposed to have a list. So we'll say 1 there. We'll say 2 there. That's our second point. when we are supposed to only buy what is not in the cupboards when we're going to the grocery store. So we are going to only buy what is on the list. Fruit and vegetables that are slightly damaged still taste the same. Do not simply throw them away, but use them in drinks and dishes where their appearance does not matter. That's our point number 3. We are going to use the fruits and vegetables that are slightly damaged. Even though buying in bulk saves money, it does not serve its purpose if the bulk groceries go to waste. Ensure that the groceries you buy in bulk are versatile and can be used in more than one meal. That's our point number 4. You can avoid wasting food by using the items in your fridge according to the expiry dates. That's our number 5. If you do not eat everything you make, freeze it for later. That's our number 6. Apart from preserving it to prevent wastage, some people believe that leftover food tastes better. You can also reuse leftovers in another totally different meal. That's our number 7. Right, those are our 7 points. This one that says a leftover pasta salad can easily be turned into a pasta and cheese baked dish is actually an example that is explaining how we can use leftovers in another totally different meal. We do not use examples, remember, in a summary. So examples are not points, they are just for further information. So those are our 7 points. You can avoid wastage by making these changes to how you deal with food. That is a summative statement to our passage, so it's not a relevant point. When you have taken your 7 points, you are now going to be able to change them into your own words, and then that's when you can have your 7 points for the summary in your own words, in 70 words, and you have your summary. So let's make sure that we do not exceed our word limits. Let's make sure that we only take the relevant points. This is always in bold font so that it can help you to stick to what the question wants. That's our section B, which is our summary. All right, let's go to section C, which is our language. This is our 40 marks for our language. It's a challenge majority of times because of advertisements and cartoons. So we must be able to go through our techniques properly so that we can get through these ones. Let's go to our advertisement. Our advertisement says, since 1837, Tetley, green tea now with immune power of vitamin C. Immune with added vitamin C. Vitamin C helps support immune system. All right, lemon and honey. The information, it says new year is about new beginnings. In 2021, as we embrace the new normal, let us all make a start to being fit, not just from the outside, but from the inside as well. Thirdly, green tea immune has all the goodness of antioxidant-rich green tea and added vitamin C that helps support the immune system. Now that is our advertisement. Right. It says it's available in ginger, in mint, in lemon, in mango and classic variants. All right, let's go and see what our question holds. Right. Who is the target audience in this advertisement? The word target audience means who is likely to buy the product. Who is the product meant for? So now we are coming here. You must be getting your clues of trying to see what can help you know what who the target audience is. I'm going to take this. This is weight bar, and in that weight bar there's oranges on the left side, oranges on the right hand side. So now I believe that this is for people who gym. That is my opinion. It is for people who gym. You can also say it's for people who want to take care of their immune system. As it says, it's for the immune with added vitamin C. So though that's something also that you can use. When you're talking about the target audience, we're talking about who will benefit by buying this product. People who gym, people want to take care of their immune system. There are also people who can buy the product. Immune system, when we're sick, people who have infections can also be good for their infections to boost their immune system again. So there were a lot of answers that could have been relevant. How do the words immunity power in the headline capture the reader's attention? Give 2 points. All right. The title says immune power. Immune power is in a bolder font, bigger font. So we must be able to focus on the font. It will always come in for us. The font is big. The font is bold. So when we are having font that is different from the other font in the title, then it means that it becomes the focal point. So now our question said, how do the words immunity power in the headline capture the reader's attention? Right. Firstly, the font is bolder than the others. The font is bigger than the other words in the title. So those are the 2 ways that they made us really notice it and capture our attention. What do the words since 1837 suggest? This is the credibility. We'll call this the credibility of the company. It suggests that the company is credible. Okay, I think there are answers that we'll have to bring in there that will help us. Right. Credible is one of them. Trustworthy is another one. Right. So when we are coming and talking about the time frame given of how long they've been in circulation, we are realizing that it's been a long time. So that makes them credible, that makes them trustworthy. Those are the 2 answers that come in now. They give us, suggest that they are trustworthy and they're a credible company, and therefore it gives us validation. This is giving us validation as the clients. So we get validation. That is for validation. So study the following sentence. Tetley green tea immune has all the goodness of antioxidant rich green tea. They want us to state the parts of speech of each underlined word. Our parts of speech, remember, they are our nouns, our verbs, our adjectives, articles, pronouns, and all those things. So when we are coming here, let's look at how rich is used. It's goodness of antioxidant rich green tea. Rich is adding quality to green, so which means rich is an adjective. When we're coming here, rich will become an adjective without fail. This becomes our adjective. Tea becomes our noun. Those are our parts of speech for the 2. That is adjective, description, and then that is tea, which is the noun. Right. Let's go to the next one. Why does the advertiser state that Tetley green tea immune is available in different flavors? Give 2 points. That is to create a desire. This is our AITA principle. That is to create a desire. We are desire in customers to choose from a variety. So that is desire. It's 2 points. We're supposed to state 2 points. It's to create a desire in customers to choose from a variety. It is also the other one that we can give. If we don't give this one, we can give another one and say to capture the interest, can be the interest of the customers to want the product. So that can be the other one. Those are your answers that you could have given, but AITA principle was coming in. It could have been attraction, interest, desire, and therefore it means that when there's a variety, people now have an option. So when they give them options, they desire to have the product. Do you think the visual of the lemon slices joined by a bar supports the message of this advertisement? So lemon slices, it says joined by a bar support the message. The message, let's go back. Let's go back a little bit. It says green tea now with immune power. It emphasizes that there is power in the lemons that will boost your immune system. So yes, the lemon slices do support the message of the advertisement. The bar is balanced by the slices, and therefore the lemon slices will give a balance to our immune system. So yes, it will be true. Visual is you are supposed to specify lemon, what does it do to the system? Bar, how is it balanced, and what will be the balance? So those are your 2 marks. That is our advertisement. Let's go to our cartoon. Our cartoon was Calvin and Hobbes, our favorite, by Watterson. Right, we are starting off with frame 1, elongated. No, I'm sorry. We're starting off with the title. There's zip, frame 1. It's elongated, as we can see, starting here and ending there. And then we have zip, zop, zip, zop, repeated in that frame. And then we have frame 2, snow pants. Frame 3 is not in the image, but comes in frame 4. And then we have frame 5, frame 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. This is what we're having as Calvin and Hobbes today. Let's see what the questions have for us. In this cartoon, the boy's name is Calvin and his friends is Hobbes, who is the tiger. We are used to them by now. Snow pants in frame 2 refers to a pair of trousers worn when walking and playing in the snow. Psychokinetic in frame 8 refers to the ability to change any situation with one mind. So that's what we are having there. Okay. Let's go to the questions. Right. Why are the words zip, zop used? That is onomatopoeia, remember? So they're asking why are the words zip, zop used? Now, that is the sound created by his movement and on the snow. That is the sound created by his shoes on the snow as he's walking. So it's the sound of the movement that he's making on the snow. So which means as he moves, as he steps on the snow, that is the onomatopoeia that is made or depicted by his walk. Choose the correct answer. Calvin's facial expression in frame 2 indicate that he is A, nervous, B, restless, C, excited, or D, anxious. Let's go and see frame 2. Okay, in frame 2, there's our frame 2. He has a wide smile on his face. So, if he has a wide smile on his face, he's definitely not nervous. He's definitely not restless. He is definitely excited. So, our answer is a C. Refer to frame 6. Explain how the cartoonist conveys that Calvin is shouting. Refer to one verbal and one visual clue in your answer. Let's go back to our terms again. When we are talking about verbal clues, we are talking about the words. We are going to talk about words used. We are going to talk about punctuation. We are going to talk about devices used. As I said, onomatopoeia is verbal. So those are the things that we're taking as verbal clues. Visual clues, we are always going to have the facial expressions, the body language. Those are our visual clues or movement lines. Right. They said, how does he convey that Calvin is shouting? There should be one verbal and one visual clue, and we're in reference to frame 6. Let's go back to frame 6. In frame 6, oh, my apologies. In frame 6, this is our frame 6. Well, let's have some snow. We are going to mention his mouth is wide open. That's the first clue. We are also going to have as the visual clue, his mouth is wide open. As the verbal clue, we are having bolts of the words to show shouting. We're also going to talk about the punctuation, which is 2 exclamation marks to show the shouting. So the boldness and the 2 exclamation marks emphasize the shouting. We are also going to have the zigzag on his frame. It's a zigzag on his frame to show the shouting. So our verbal clues that we are taking, when we say verbal, let's start with the verbal clues. All right, let's come here. Oh, my apologies, my apologies. All right, when we are talking about verbal clues, we're going to mention the shouting shown by the 2 exclamation marks. We're going to talk about the bold. We're also going to talk about the frame that is showing the shouting. When we're talking about the visual, we're going to talk about the wide open mouth. That is what is showing that he's shouting. Those are our visual and verbal clues. They said 1, so you just have to refer to 1 verbal and 1 visual. Describe how Calvin's actions in frame 7 are in contrast to his actions in frame 8. Refer to the visual aspects only. All right, we are having our visual aspects. Let's go down. Right. Contrast, we are looking for a contrast. Let's look at the question again. Describe how Calvin's actions in frame 7 are in contrast to his actions. It says in frame 8. Refer to the visual aspects only. So that's what we must be looking at. Calvin's actions in frame 7 are in contrast to his actions in frame 8. All right. Frame 7. It said just refer to the visual. He has wide open eyes. That's our visual. Visual aspects only, it said. Frame 7, he has wide open eyes. In frame 8, he has a wide smile on his face. That is the contrast. So the contrast of the visual is shown by the wide open eyes and the smile in the other one. So now when we are talking about actions. We're also going to talk about he is his body is high on the board, and then he's no longer on the board but on his feet and running. So now we realize that's the contrast that we're having there. Start with the following sentence. Oh, he's going to hate me for this, it says. He is going to hate me for this. Rewrite his in full. That is contraction. So he is what we're supposed to have in full as the contraction. It's supposed to be he is. So that's what we'll have as the contraction there. And then they say give a synonym for the word hate. Synonyms, remember, are words that are similar in meaning. So we must be able to find the synonym for the word hate. Loathe is one of them that I'm having in mind. Loathe is a synonym of hate. Do you think Hobbes' behavior is acceptable in this cartoon? Substantiate your answer. Let's go and see Hobbes. This time we are on Hobbes, not on Calvin, right? Yeah, do you think Hobbes' behavior is acceptable? What did Hobbes do? Let's go and find out. Oh, there is Hobbes. Hobbes is throwing fluff down from a tree and deceiving Calvin that there's snow, yet there is no snow. So is his behavior acceptable? No, it is not, because it is deceiving Calvin. Hobbes is his behavior is not acceptable because there is no snow. So when he has to lead Calvin to thinking that there is snow, Calvin is going to be more hurt when he discovered that there was no snow. So Hobbes' behavior is not acceptable. So that's what we are having for our cartoon there. All right, let's go to our question 5. Question 5 is our language and editing skills. Read the passage, which is text F, it says, which has some deliberate errors, and answer the said questions. Literacy Project was the title. The Link Literacy Project are in need of volunteers. It is estimated that most South African children have lost learning time. Some community-based volunteer organizations will now, more than ever, play a vital role. A legal effort will go the long way to helping children. Maggie Fuzzle said, the children need to be able to read to make their way through this education system. She added, many of our children live in challenging environments. There is little opportunity for children to improve these core skills. The 19 centers are based at low-income schools throughout the country. The project is already supported by various communities. They help to build foundation skills in 2 programs. The volunteers are a diverse group of people from all walks of life. They include parents of children from surrounding schools, grandparents, students, and working people. It is better to choose one project to support. If you are interested in being a volunteer, you can send an email to info@thelinklitteracyproject.co.za. That is the text that we are given for our language editing. All right, let's go and see what errors are there, because we are supposed to see them and then we are supposed to answer questions based on them. All right, correct the single error in each of the following sentences. He said, write down only the question numbers and the words you have corrected. That is a very simple question. Please just write the error only Please write only the correction that you have made to the error. My apologies. It says write down only the question number. So it will be 5.11a, and then you correct your error. The Link Literacy Project are in need of volunteers. It's a Concord error. It's supposed to be is in need of volunteers. So it will be 5.11a is. That's what we call a Concord error. It is estimated that most South African children have lost learning time. The tense is wrong. It's supposed to be estimated. A legal effort will go the long way to helping children. The is misplaced, is the wrong article there. It's supposed to be a long way. That is an article error. She added, many of our children live in challenging environments. That is what we call a spelling error. It's supposed to be double Lenging. Those are our errors that we're supposed to correct when we begin that language section. Let's go to 5.12. Right, complete the following tag question. Write down only the missing words. The children need to be able to read to make their way through this education system. So now we are supposed to add a tag question to the end of the statement. Our tag will be don't they. The children need to be able to read to make their way through this education. Don't they? That's our tag. Rewrite the following sentence in reported speech. We are reporting, so we must be able to have the reporting done. Maggie Fazal said, there is legal opportunity for children to improve these core skills. We are reporting, so it will be Maggie Fazal said that. We have to report, so we must put the reporting word that. Maggie Fazal said that there must be, let me put this so that we can do it properly. Maggie Fazal said, okay, sorry. Now we have to come to, all right. Maggie Fazal. Okay, just give me a minute. We are reporting and saying Maggie Fazal said that. Okay, let's go here. Said that there, we changed the tense, was legal opportunity for children to improve. These becomes those core skills. Pronouns must change. So we had to insert a reporting word after that, after said, and then we inserted that. There was, tense must change. Legal opportunity for children to improve. These changes to those. So that's what we do when we're reporting in language. Rewrite the following sentence in the negative form. The 19 centers are based at low-income schools throughout the country. We have to insert a negative here. The 19 centers we have to insert there and say here, not based at low-income schools throughout the country. That's the negative form of the sentence. Rewrite the following sentence in the active voice is our question. The project is already supported by various communities. Now, remember we have our subject, we have our verb, we have our object. So now our object is going to become our subject and our subject is going to become our object. So now let's see what it's supposed to say. Various communities. Okay. Various communities support the project. That is the active voice. The project is already supported by various communities. Various communities already support. Oh, sorry, I left out already there. They're supposed to be already there. Already support the project. That is how it's supposed to be. Our various communities becomes our subject. Our verb is going to the present tense as it's in the active voice, and then the project becomes our object. So it becomes various communities already support the project. Right, let's go to rewrite the following sentence in the past continuous tense. The key word is past continuous tense. They help to build foundation skills into programs. So it's supposed to be in the past. They were helping to build foundation skills into programs. That is what we're supposed to be having there. We're helping. Combine the following sentence into a single sentence, and then they say use the words either or. Right, volunteers can be parents of children from surrounding schools. Volunteers can be working people. So we are supposed to insert these conjunctions. Right, volunteers can be. There we insert our either. We have to put our either there. Either parents of children from surrounding schools. We remove the full stop. We take it out, and then in its place we are going to put or volunteers or working people. Volunteers can be parents of children from surrounding schools or can be working people. We have to now remove where volunteers can be because it is repetition. So the whole statement will be volunteers can be parents of children from surrounding schools or working people. That is how we insert the either or in our sentences. Remove the comma, insert your or, remove the repetition as it will be redundancy, and then continue. We insert our either there, can be either parents of children. Start with the following sentence. It is better to choose one project to support. Use a homophone for the word one in a sentence of your own. Right. Use a homophone for the word one in a sentence of your own. Right. The homophone for one that I have in mind is this one. This is one. Right. So you have to just create your own sentence. That's the other homophone for one in a sentence. So you just have to come up with your own sentence. Right, let's go to our own 5.2, which is study the text G below and answer the questions. Your text G: on her adventures, she'll play princess, kiss frogs, and maybe catch worms. Right. And then they said, rewrite the following sentence and insert the missing punctuation mark. Fairy tales are well-known stories that inspire children's creativity. We have to insert the missing punctuation. Fairy tales are well-known stories that inspire children's creativity. Right, we can put the comma there. Fairy tales, comma, are well-known stories that inspire children's creativity. We insert a comma there after fairy tales. That's our missing punctuation. Give an antonym for the underlined word in the following sentence. An antonym is the opposite of the word. It is easy to understand fairy tales. The opposite of easy is difficult. So we are going to difficult there. It is difficult to understand fairy tales. That's what will be there. The opposite is difficult. Okay, let's come here. That is the antonym. And then give the singular form of the underlined word in the following sentences. She participated in the most interesting activities. Right, they want you to give you the singular. Right, activity. It becomes activity. That's our singular form. Give the correct form of the words in brackets. Adventure, people enjoy, mountain climbing. All right, that is then the wrong form, so we must change it. It's supposed to be adventurous people. Adventurous people enjoy mountain climbing. Complete the following sentence by filling in the missing words. The instruction is clear, right? Only the word next to the question numbers. They even specified 5.2.5a, 5.25b in the answer book. Right. Some girls want to kiss frogs in order to turn them into princesses. Right. So which means we are taking in here. Right. It's in order to they turn them into princesses. That's your question paper. We finally come to the end of our question paper, which is our 80 marks. Please let's be sure that when we are doing this question paper, we are very sure with our language components. Please make sure that you change the forms of the words, revise your spellings, revise your punctuation. All right, let's look at the things that you can now start preparing for. Passive voice, active voice, spellings, punctuation, plural and singular form of words, is the other one. And also please revise your dictionary work. The word is an adjective, the word is a noun, the word is an adverb. You will have to do that one. And then please make sure direct speech and indirect speech must be done without fail. So those are the things that you must be trying to internalize as you are coming into your paper. Pronouns, conjunctions, prepositions. Please, let's revise our language components so that we can be able to get through our 40 marks. Revise also your cartoons, techniques. Know your visual clues. Know your verbal clues so that you can be able to describe them. And then also in your advertisement, please know your information, know your visual, know your slogan, so that you can be able, the title, so that you can, and your logo, so that you can be able to get through your advertisements. Please take only the relevant points in the summary. If it's not relevant, please do not take it. And lastly, read your comprehension to understand. Make sure that in whatever you do, you skim, you scan, and you comprehend so that you can get through your questions in section A in the comprehension. It's 80 marks. It's 2 hours. Use your time wisely and make sure that you follow your time management skills that will assist you to be able to finishing the sections in time. Our question says answer, our instructions says answer all questions. So please use your time management properly so that you can finish your questions. I wish you all the best in your preparations for your exams, and I hope you will revise your components. Thank you very much.